Hello, welcome back. So in the previous part, we have seen 6 steps of designing a singly reinforced beam. So in the step 6, we were checking the depth required. So if the depth required is less than D provided, then we say that our design is safe, our assumed size is safe, and then we proceed to step 7. If D required is more than D provided, then we again go back to step 2 and then again check the depth. So now assuming that our depth is safe, so we will proceed to step 7. So in the step 7, as the depth is safe, now in the step 7, we are supposed to find out the area of reinforcement. So this is the beam and this is the load that we have calculated in the previous step. So because of this load will be resisted by concrete and steel. So steel will be provided on the tension side, which is on the bottom side of the beam. So now we have to find out how much area of steel will be provided to resist the required bending moment. So again, the formula of AST is calculated like this. M is equals to sigma ST into AST into J into D provided actually. So this is the D provided that we have calculated in step 2, and we are assuming that this D provided is more than D required, and that is why we proceed to step 7. So this is the formula that we generally use to find out AST value. We already know that if we try to find out moment of resistance from the steel side, so this is the formula that we generally follow. Like for the steel side, the formula becomes sigma ST by M into M into AST into D minus X by 3, sorry, D minus X by 3. So M to M cancelled out. So this becomes sigma ST into AST into, if I take D common, then it will become uh, D into 1 minus X by 3 times of D. So here you can see this will become sigma ST into AST into D 1 minus X by D is the value of N. So it will become N by 3. And we know that this N by 3, 1 minus N by 3 is basically the J value. So this becomes sigma ST into AST into D into J. And this is the formula that I have written here. So how this formula is arrived at, this is how we arrived at this formula. Okay, so now in using this formula, we will find out AST. So M we have already calculated in step 5. Sigma ST we can find out from the steel table. J value we have calculated in step 1, and D provided we have value from the step 2. So only unknown parameter here is the AST value. So using this relation, we can find out AST as AST required, how much area of steel is required for to resist this much bending moment. So based on this, we will use this formula M by sigma ST J into D provided. So this is how we calculate. So using once we calculate AST required, then we have to find out how much number of bars is to be provided, and how much number of bars is to be provided we can calculate by using this formula. Well, AST required here is the area of steel required that we have calculated from this formula, and A phi is the area of cross section of one bar. Well, area of cross section of one bar will be pi d square by 4. Here d will be the dia of bar. So dia of bar we have already assumed in step 2 while calculating the effective cover. So for example, if we have assumed 12 mm dia, so putting the 12 as 12 square, so this is how we find out area of cross section of one bar, and then dividing this with the area of AST required, which we have calculated here, we will be able to find out the number of bars. So as I written here, A phi is the area of cross section of one bar. So this is how we find out the number of bars required to resist the required bending moment. So AST, then for example, if using this relation, if the number of bars comes out as 2.5, in that case, we are not, I mean, we can't provide 2.5 bars, but we will round off this bar to 3 numbers. Generally, we round off this to the higher side, which means if the required bar are 2.5, then we provide 3 bars. And if we provide more bar, I mean, if we provide bars more than required, in that case, the area of steel actually provided in the beam will be higher. So in that case, this is the AST required, and then we find out AST provided. So AST provided will be number of bars multiplied by area of cross section of 1 bar. So this is how we calculate the AST provided. And this calculation of AST required and AST provided is very important, because ultimately when we check beam against the deflection, in that case, we will be required AST provided and AST required. So that is why we calculate this value beforehand. So now moving to the next step. So in the previous step, we have calculated the quantity of the steel which we will be providing in the beam. Now in the step 8, we try to find out whether our, we have to make sure that the area of steel that we have calculated in step 7 should be more than the minimum steel requirement and should be less than the maximum steel requirement as per IS code. So in the IS code, the minimum area of steel and maximum area of steel is mentioned. So we have to calculate how much minimum area of steel is there and how much maximum steel is there, and we have to make sure that our value lies in between this range. If it is not lying in between this range, then we have to change the area of steel accordingly. So now it says, as per clause number 26.5, minimum reinforcement to be provided is given by this equation. So first of all, I will show you this clause, and there in the clause the equation is given. So first I will show you that clause in the IS code. So there on page number 46 of the IS code, you can see clause number 26.5.1. it is about the tension reinforcement, because we are providing reinforcement on the tension side, so that is why it becomes tension reinforcement, which is AST. So minimum reinforcement, how much minimum reinforcement should be there? So it says the minimum area of tension reinforcement shall be not less than that. We will go to the next page. The given by the following. So this is the equation which is being given as the equation for the minimum reinforcement. So in this, AS is the area of steel, minimum area of steel recommended by the IS code. 0.85 is constant. Fy is the yield strength of the steel. For example, if we are using HYSD bar, in that case the grade will be Fe 415 and Fy value for this will be 415 Newton per mm square. So this is the value of Fy that we can get from the steel grade. So steel grade will be given in the question. Similarly, B and D. B is the width of beam and D is the effective depth of beam. So using this formula, we will find out AS. And if this AS is more than, if this AS is more than the AST provided that we have calculated in the previous step, then we have to adopt area of steel up to this value, because this will be the minimum area of steel that is to be provided. By chance, if the area of steel that we have calculated in step 7, if it is more than this value, then we adopt that value which we have calculated. Similarly, in the B part, you can see IS code also has given maximum reinforcement limit, and it says the maximum area of tension reinforcement shall not exceed 0.04 times of BD. B into D is the area of cross section, total area of cross section, because here D is the overall depth, and 0.04 means 4% of the total cross sectional area. So it says the maximum reinforcement should not exceed the 4% of the total cross sectional area of the beam. So this is what IS code says. So our area of steel should be more than AS and less than this value. If it is lying in between this, then we can say that area of steel calculated is safe. Otherwise, we have to change value accordingly. Now moving to the slide again. So the formula that I have shown you in the IS code, I have modified this in terms of AST, which is 0.85 BD upon FY. So we will calculate that. So now as I have written here, if AST provided, that we have AST provided, we have calculated this in the previous step, and AST minimum that we have calculated in this step. If it is less than this, then what we will do, we have to revise the AST provided to the value of AST minimum. In that case, we will take AST provided as equivalent to this value if this is the condition. And if we are checking for the maximum value, it says as per IS 456, maximum value of AST should not exceed 0.04 BD. This is same I have shown you in the IS code. So this is the step 8, which is about checking the quantity of the steel as per IS code recommendation. Now, side face reinforcement. Sometimes the depth of the beam may be larger, like this. If we provide reinforcement here, this is the tension reinforcement. But sometimes if this depth is high, in that case, sometimes we provide reinforcement here also, which is called side face reinforcement. When do we have to provide this reinforcement? That is also we have to check. So side face reinforcement we provide generally when the value of D exceeds 750 mm. Then we provide side face reinforcement as per this clause. So in the IS code, this clause has mentioned that we have to provide this side face reinforcement if the depth of beam exceeds 750. Okay, now I will show you the same clause in the IS code also, so that you get to know where to find out this clause. So there you can see again on the page number 47, there you can see on page number 47, side face clause, which is 26.5.13. So here it says where the depth of the web in beam, basically a depth, I'm writing here, basically if we are taking rectangular beam, then the whole part, this whole part can be sometimes termed as web. Okay, so it says where the depth of the web in a beam exceeds 750, then side face reinforcement shall be provided along the two faces, along this face as well as along this face. We never do that we are providing only on one face. Generally we provide on both faces. So the area of cross section of this reinforcement will be, it says the total area of such reinforcement shall not be less than 0.1% of the web area. So if this is B and if this is D, in that case it will be 0.01. So times of B into D. So this is how we find out the area of steel in this case, area of these bars. And generally we provide that it says shall be distributed equally on two faces at a spacing not exceeding 300 mm or web thickness, whichever is. So this spacing, if we have already provided reinforcement here, then this spacing should be less than 300 mm. Okay, or the thickness of beam. Thickness of beam is B. So either it is 300 or B, whichever is less. So if this is 300 mm, if B value is 200, in that case, the distance between this reinforcement and this reinforcement should not exceed 200. So this is how we checked out. So if we get any example related to this case, then we will do that using the example. So now moving to the same statement I have written here, so you can read that. Next step is checking the beam for the deflection. Well, I'm again making the beam. say this is the beam and this is the support, and because of this load, this beam deflects like this. So this is the original line of the beam and this is the deflected line of the beam. So this vertical difference is called deflection. So this deflection should not be very high, and that is why we check the deflection criteria also. So deflection criteria can be checked again as per IS code. So that we will see how do we check that. So in this clause 23.2, and it has given point A and C. It says the vertical deflection may be assumed to be satisfied if for the simply supported beam of span up to 10 meter. Again, I am showing you the same equation. Here it says this is the equation that we have to satisfy, and how we arrive at this equation, I will show you that in the IS code first. So here in the IS code on page number 37, you can see this is the page number 37, and this is the clause 23.2.1. It says the vertical deflection limits may generally be assumed to be satisfied provided that span to depth ratio are not greater than the value obtained as below. Span to depth ratio will be written as L by D. So span to depth ratio are not greater than the value obtained as below, which means this ratio should be less than or equals to how much? Now it says for A, basic value of span to depth ratio for spans up to 10 meter. Like we are, our beam mostly will be having simply supported. So in that case, the ratio is 20. So we will write here 20. And it says if the span of the beam is more than 10 meter, then what we do is the value of A from this clause, the value of A may be multiplied by this ratio 10 by span. For example, if the span is 12 meter, so in that case we will multiply 10 by 12 this ratio with this value if our beam span is more than 10 meter. Okay, so except for cantilever, in which case deflection calculation should be made. Well, this is only for the simply supported and continuous beam case. So in our case, mostly we will be designing for simply supported case. So in that case, we multiply that. So now going to point C, because in our case, I was mentioning about this clause along with A and C. So now it says depending on the area and the stress of steel for tension reinforcement, the value in A or B shall be modified by multiplying with the modification factor which is obtained from figure 4. So IS code has provided a figure which is figure 4. So I am writing here as it is written that the value will be multiplying with the modification factor. So I am writing here this as MF1. So this becomes the equation. If this equation is satisfied, then we say that deflection is, beam is safe in deflection. So this ratio L by D should be less than or equals to 20 times of MF1. Now the whole thing stands here. What is MF1? MF1 is called modification factor, which depends on the area of steel and the stress in the steel. And now we will see this figure, and then I will explain what is the area of is all about it. So going to the next page. So this is figure 4. So there you can see this is figure number 4, and there are some curves which are given as Fs. Fs is stress in steel. So stress in, and the formula to calculate the value of Fs is given below this, which is 0.58 times of Fy multiplied by area of cross section of steel required upon area of cross section of steel provided. As I mentioned in step 7 when we were calculating the area of steel that we have to find out AST required and AST provided. So those values are required to find out this value. And once we find out the value, then we find out this modification factor. In the curve, you can see percentage of reinforcement is given here. So we also calculate percentage of reinforcement so that we can find out modification factor. So once we calculate the value of Fs, once we have the value of percentage of steel in our beam, then we find out this modification factor, and we use this modification factor in our calculation. So I will explain how do we find out this value of MF using an example. So I have provided an example, so we will see that in that case. So this is the equation that we have to satisfy for the deflection criteria. So all things I have explained there. So this is the formula that we are going to use to find out the value of Fs, and the same graph I have provided here for your reference. The same graph we will be using to find out the value of Fs. So now we will continue our discussion in the next step, I mean in the next part.